Welcome to another installment of Tech Tips NCIXPC edition. This is one episode some of you have been waiting for all year. This is NCIXPC's Boxing Week Gamers Special Performance to Game Like Pro Edition systems that are a good deal, basically.
With up to 4 terabytes of massive storage capacity combined with SSD-like performance, Seagate's solid-state hybrid drives are the fastest way to have it all.
Yes, the Boxing Week specials are back, and what better way to spend the holiday season than to be gaming on a brand new NCIX PC? Heck, why not get one to start the new year off with a bang? Not a literal bang, they're very good quality, they do not explode. Now, all 3 tiers of this week's Boxing Week Special Edition systems are enclosed in the Corsair 230T chassis. It's fully equipped to handle future upgrades with easy maintenance and expandability, as well as flexible cooling potential. Now, with tiers 2 and 3, you'll get top-tier performance, which tier 3 might be slightly cheerier, but it never cries, because would a pro gamer cry? Maybe when they lose. With those 2 systems, you'll choose between one built around an R9 270X, R9 290, or an EVGA GTX 970, with the 2 higher-end cards, the R9 290 and the 970, being in tiers 2 and 3, and then the R9 270X being in tier 1. Now, in terms of storage, it's all taken care of by HyperX, so we wanted to kind of call that out, guys. And as always, with more than 18 years of building handcrafted gaming PCs, NCIXPC has developed lots of strong relationships with the most trusted brands in the industry, so aside from HyperX, there's lots of other good brand name hardware in here as well. So today we'll be having a look at tiers 2 and 3 on the table, and let's start with an outside tour. Tour, not tier. So at the front of the 230T, you've got 3 5¼ bays, one of which is populated by an optical drive. You've got 2 USB 3 ports, front panel audio, as well as reset and power switches. The entire front of the case is made up of mesh, except those 5¼ bays. Those are actually a little bit deceptive looking. That's plastic. There's no mesh there. But this is enough mesh to take care of cooling the graphics card and CPU inside and all that other good stuff. On the right side panel, you see not a whole lot of much of anything except this little stylized dent thing that they got going on. On the right hand side, you see pretty much more of the same. The bottom of the case, yes, more ventilation. So that is a passive intake as well as a filtered intake under the power supply area. The top of the case, we are beginning to find a common theme here. Is that more ventilation that I see? Wow, that's up to 120mm by 2 or 140mm by 2 fan slots. And you can populate those because all NCIX PCs are customizable. Otherwise, it'll be a passive exhaust. In the back, we've got a rear 120mm fan. I mean, what other kind of 120mm fan would you find in the back? You wouldn't find a front 120mm fan in the back. That's just stupid. As well as I/O, which consists of a PS2 keyboard mouse combo port, 4 USB 2, I cracked myself up, 4 USB 2 ports, optical audio, HDMI, DVI, VGA, 2 USB 3 ports, 7.1 audio, and of course, the graphics card. Now, let's head on inside the Tier 2 system, also known as the Blizzard configuration. TM are nothing to do with actual company that makes games, etc., etc. Oh, by the way, Tier 1 is called the Tempest and is priced at $799. So inside this bad boy, you'll find an AMD FX 8320 processor, an Asus M5A78L-M USB 3 motherboard, Corsair Vengeance Blue memory, that's 8 gigs of DDR3 1600, and Asus Radeon R9 290. Look, it's strong. You'll also find a HyperX Fury 120GB SSD and Asus 24X optical drive that we actually saw at the front. We didn't need to do an interior tier to see the optical drive. Of course, our CX600M 600-watt power supply, and of course, it's pre-installed with Windows 8.1. You know, in fact, I think only about 70% of those things we would need to open up the system in order to see. I can see the motherboard, the video. Actually, very few of those things actually totally hide inside the system. You know what else totally hides inside the system? The cables. Cable management, actually not bad. It's a pretty nice little case to build in. Moving on to Tier 3, or the Cyclone configuration. We get a side panel window and some higher end hardware specs. I gotta move this system. Oh, look, it's lightweight too. Oh, my arm. It's not that light. It's a steel case. I mean, it's not the heaviest case ever, but, you know, it's also not made of, like, the thinnest metal ever. So, you know, my left arm is not as strong as my right arm, if you know what I mean. I rock babies all the time. I have children, so I use my right arm for that. Anyway, the processor's an Intel Core i5-4690K. It's got a Corsair H60 liquid cooler on it, Asus Z97K CSM motherboard, Corsair Vengeance Blue memory, this time 8 gigs again. You've got an EVGA GeForce GTX 970 ACX 4 gig graphics card in there. It's a pretty cool graphics card. It's cool because it has a cooler on it. You've also got a HyperX Fury 120 gig SSD, a 24X optical drive again, and the same CX 600M power supply. It also comes with Windows 8.1 128-bit for Tier 3. Asterisk, Linus is not correct about this. It comes with Windows 8.1 64-bit. The Cyclone is priced at $1189 for a savings of $300 over regular pricing. This system is shown with optional lighting, LED fans, and sleeved cabling upgrades to the cables that are available with special pricing on these systems. And you can go for either a uniform color scheme or you can mix and match to create your own perfect color scheme, like, say, for example, red, white, and green for Italy or Christmas. As always, NCIX PCs are customizable and come with a 1-year warranty and in-house tech support. On to the freebies, which I can find right here, where I tied them to my belt. Yeah, that's right. I'm like Santa with the freebies down the... all right, so tiers 1 and 2 come with Never Settle Forever Radeon Gold game bundles. You choose 3 games, AMD Core Evolution, choice of Sniper Elite 3, Lego Batman 3, or Murdered Soul Suspect. AMD Radeon is gaming dry fit t-shirt. Let's see, yep, there we go. So you get one of those, so you get like games and a t-shirt. Tier 3 comes with NVIDIA Pick Your Path, so your choice of The Crew, Far Cry 4, or Assassin's Creed Unity. You also get Total War Rome 2, a value of $60, Intel's $80 worth of World of Tanks in-game currency and items, and Intel's Rubik's Cube for $20. There we go. I'm actually starting to find some of these things. You get an Intel Limited Edition Skull Cap. It's not actually a skull cap, it's just a cap with a skull on it. I can see why you got confused. You get an EVGA t-shirt, an EVGA lanyard, and I think this is a shirt too, and free stuff. As always, guys, the freebies are while quantities last. That's it for this NCIXPC edition of Tech Tips. Have a wonderful holiday season, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more from NCIX. Does this brim block the mic? I'm just curious. If I take it off, do I sound different? Or can I just wear it all the time now?